Wine lovers, cheers. This is a very special Wine Wednesday, a different one for kind of bad news reasons, as well as there's a little bit of good news. It's also going to be like the fastest live we've ever done. But I just wanted to have a quick chat with you guys, update you on something pretty personal, pretty surprising, pretty crazy. And that is that, are you ready for this? So Carl, our beloved Carl's Wine Club, that I named the club after him because he's the one who's been passionately involved with the Canadian wine industry for 25 plus years. And he's the one that tastes the most Canadian wines on the planet, I am pretty sure, every year. A huge passionate advocate for the industry. Well, guess what? Last Saturday, he had a heart attack. And I bring this up because I did not realize how this all works. You hear of people having heart attacks and you think it's some big dramatic thing. And actually what happened was he wasn't feeling so well for about a week with a flu, went to lay down, his arm went numb. We had the thought that maybe this could be something a little more serious than a flu and went to a pharmacy of all places to see if they could give us a thermometer because ours at home, we couldn't find it. And we were lucky that the pharmacist was kind enough to say, actually, if you have numbness in your arm, your left arm especially, and you're feeling pressure in the chest, even though you might have a flu right now, you should probably go to emergency. And I'm really glad we did because it was a heart attack. So the good news is that he is here. Carl Boucher is here. He is here with us. He survived said heart attack. And actually, there's even better news than that because usually heart attacks can be extremely life-altering. And it sounds like he might have gotten off much better off than others. So here is Carl. Baby.
Hey, everyone. Well, thanks, Mira.
Happy Wine Wednesday.
Happy Wine Wednesday.
And I'm
Cheers.
glad that we can say that. And you're still
exactly right. I'm not gonna go all inflame and like on flame and like exuberant as I go. But what a crazy time. But first I want to thank you and for all the support and you and the kids for everything. Spending four full days in the ICU was it's experience. These experiences are life changing and are also like you have time to to reflect on so many things. And I mean, you know what's important for you before that, but you know it very much more after that. And being sitting here with you and all of you guys, all of you Canadian wine lovers, that's truly what we love to do. That's truly what drives us. That's truly our passion. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be okay because there's good news in there. There's no blockage of anything. It's like my arteries are clear. There's there's a lot of good news. So it's a road to recovery. I don't have a lot of time. I will tell you one thing, because next week we are hosting the country here in the Okanagan. It's the Pan-Canadian Masterclass, the 2.0. And the people are starting arriving next Wednesday. So I'm taking it pretty easy this week. And if you guys were wondering how come we haven't had a feature in a couple weeks and all of that, we have to thank Monte Creek gracefully. And thank you, Monte Creek. Thank you for your understanding, guys. And thank you. We had to postpone. We were supposed to feature Monte Creek this week, but unfortunately, not possible. The doctor says that I have to be very, very low key for the next couple months. So anyway, we're here and getting the prep ready for the Pan Canadian and hosting all of our guests who are arriving next week. It is a very exciting time for us at Carl's Wine Club. We've been working fairly hard on this for 2 years now. So the second edition is coming up in less than 10 days.
Well, there's
So
almost 100 of us Canadian wine lovers getting together. And you know what? It's causing a bit of a stir, a stir. There's a lot of people who are calling me saying, hey, I'm so passionate about this Canadian wine thing. And why are we not more collaborative? And why do we have these weird laws? We're the only country in the world that doesn't allow wineries to share wines freely across the country, things like that. So it's going to be fun. And you know what? Best of all is we have people like Lisa coming out. She says, I can't wait to see you guys and give big hugs next weekend. And it's just going to be so fabulous to see everyone.
well, we have people traveling from all over the place, right? So it's really cool to reconnect when we have people traveling from BC all the way to Ontario for the first one. We knew that some kind of really cool things going to happen for the second one. So we're really, really, really excited for that. That's for sure.
So I was saying this might be the fastest, shortest Wine Wednesday we've ever done, but we do have to say something about a wine that we've discovered this week because we keep discovering them. Despite
first and foremost, I had just had a nose. So have you tasted it yet?
Yeah, it is something else. I thought for a second, like, what is this? Like, wow.
Yeah, it is incredible. So first and foremost, I'll put you in context. We tasted 112 Chardonnays a couple of weeks ago, and the people close to me around here who knew the news after what happened to my heart attack on Saturday, they kind of started to joke. They said that I had a Chardonnay overdose. I heard that one a few times.
But the thing to know about that is Carl he's not had a sip in 12 years. So
no, I didn't drink any of the Chardonnay. We tasted 112, and the number one and the second highest wine that I've ever rated, the Leaning Post, the first release of their clone 548, was a landslide the best wine of the 112. And I tell you one thing, 112 wines, there's a lot of great wine in that. There was a lot of great wine in that lineup. I would say at least 60 of the 112 were worth of a 90 points or better. I had a load of 93 and more. And that clone 548 from Ilya Sanchuk at Leaning Post rated 96 plus. It was, and that, like, we had a bunch of people at home, and it was a landslide, the favorite wine from everybody. So anyway, long story short, I've decided, because it's the first time that I opened a bottle of wine since I come back from the hospital. And I knew that last year, one of the star of the show at the Pan-Canadian, the first Pan-Canadian, was Leaning Post, the Sanchuk Vineyard 2019 Pinot Noir. And this year, with the second edition, we are featuring the 2020 of the Leaning Post Sanchuk Vineyard. So I just wanted to, and I poured that in our brand new glass sponsored by Riedel, a nice gift by Garrett here at the BC Wine Info Center, who's going to be at the Pan-Canadian as well. But the nose of that wine is actually, it's freaking incredible. And I know it's 2020 vintage. And oh my God, it's so expressive. I mean, this is an absolute bomb. Like, I'm going to taste it for the first time, okay?
Well, you're garbling up. Maybe you should come down here.
This is incredible. It's one of the biggest Pinot Noir, and probably the very biggest Pinot Noir that Leaning Post have made to date. But I think that Ilya went with the vintage and just did this big, like, just went with what he had in his hand. That is big and bold, but it's an incredible, beautiful line of acidity right in the middle of that wine, and exploding on the finish. The spice, the definition of flavor, the complexity, the earthiness, with the fruit flavors. I mean, it's an absolute bomb. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I think that Elia is really placing himself as one of the very, very best winemaker in the country right now. It's fascinating what he's doing. So I have to say it's a 94 plus, maybe a 95. Is that good? I know that I always put only one wine per wineries in my top 10 at the end of the year, but I don't know. I'll have to revisit that this year. Ilya is making reframing my whole structure of things here. It's very incredible. So yeah, big, bold, but also precise, layered. There's so many layers. There's black sherry. Yeah. The mouthfeel is rich. Layers of the layers of red cherry, black cherry, like I would say like ripe raspberry jam, but like, and after that cedar and a hint of earthiness. There's some graphite-like feelings at the end, and a burst of Chinese five spice. Absolutely incredible. Oh my God. And the language just keep going and going. So yeah, fascinating. I'm so excited. Elias flying out on Wednesday. I'm picking it up late at night. That's funny. We're looking at all of the itinerary, and we have two winemakers from Ontario are on the same flight Wednesday night. So next week, a week from now. So I can't wait to have these guys. Look for my tasting notes tomorrow on that wine. And on that note, I think my doctor wants me to go for a nap. But Mira, thanks for sharing. And I think it's really, it really shows really who we are in terms of business and people, because from the very beginning, our members have been honest with us. And we have promised ourselves, and we have promised our members to always be very honest with them as well. And just to do that, just for us was important to keep everyone posted on what's happening. And here we go. And I mean, we're moving forward. We're going to get strong. And Mira, you're a heck of a warrior. I'll tell you guys, like she spent the last 5 days with the kids at home and visiting at the hospital. And okay, I asked for bacon a couple of times. I asked for cheeseburgers a couple of times. I never got my request. But at the end of the day,
the last day made a point to tell me that you have 0 dietary restrictions going forward. So there must have been some kind of talk about this stuff in the hospital.
At the end of the day, it was when you reflect on the moment, it's like, I think she did what's best for me. But no, it was
until you're out of the hospital, you're not having McDonald's.
Yeah. I did have a milkshake though. But yeah, I know. Thanks. So I have to thank you, and thanks for taking care of everyone around us. And we're back in the saddle. We're gonna start tasting again. The Chardonnay pack is available until the end of the week. We're gonna start posting on it because I hadn't posted at all. So I'm gonna get back, and you can expect me on social media a lot tomorrow. We're going to promote all of these fantastic wines of the Pan Canadian, but also the great Chardonnays that we tasted last couple of weeks. And yeah, here's the update on Carl's from Carl's Wine Club from you guys. So
there you go. Well, I hope you guys have a very happy Wine Wednesday. If you're coming to the Pan Canadian next weekend in the Okanagan, we've added some events. We added a historic rosé vertical part 2. So if you weren't able to come to the one last summer, or if you were, we're now going to taste back vintages of rosé going back to 2015 with who we believe is Canada's top rosé maker, Daniel Bontarin. And we've also added a couple, like a pizza night, a barbecue night by the lake, and a couple winery and vineyard tours. So lots going on that weekend. And if you're coming to the Pan Canadian, see if you can come to some of these other things around. And if you're not coming to the Pan Canadian, maybe you want to do one of these other events, because if the 15th didn't work for you, well, now we're doing things on the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, thank you, and see you next time.
On Wednesday.